Welcome to China Truths. In this episode, we will bring you the following stories. China's economic slowdown leads to decline in Double 11 buzz. Zhengzhou woman with 4,000 yuan monthly salary takes 14 million yuan loan to buy 2 houses. Now, let's dive into the details. It's all covered in today's China Truths. China's economic slowdown leads to decline in Double 11 buzz. This year, the heat surrounding China's Double 11 shopping festival has waned. Major e-commerce platforms, such as Alibaba and JD.com, have not released specific sales data. The slowdown in China's economy has led to insufficient consumer spending, making it difficult for sellers to sustain. The Double 11 sales event originated in 2009 when Taobao Mall, or Tmall, held an online promotion on November 11th. Due to the sales far exceeding expectations, it became a fixed date for large-scale sales events hosted by Taobao. This festival is also seen as a barometer for measuring consumer confidence. This year's Double 11 event started on October 24th, 10 days earlier than last year, marking the longest Double 11 in history. However, the economic slowdown, the real estate crisis, and deflationary pressures have led to weakened consumer demand, lowering the willingness of consumers to make purchases. Many have chosen to engage in more rational consumption. "I only spent a few hundred yuan on some daily necessities," said Wang Haihua, who runs a fitness center in Beijing, to the Associated Press. During Double 11, prices on e-commerce platforms aren't necessarily cheaper than usual. Zhang Jiawei, a 34-year-old who runs a barber shop in Xi'an, also stated that he no longer trusts the Double 11 promotions, as some merchants tend to raise the original prices first and then offer discounts, giving consumers the illusion of a good deal. He said, 2 or 3 years ago, I used to buy a lot of things, even bought a phone. After the pandemic, my income has decreased, so I don't buy anything anymore. I don't plan to buy anything this year. According to reports, some experts believe that Beijing's stimulus policies have not significantly improved consumer confidence. Sean Rain, founder and CEO of China Market Research Group, pointed out that due to the weak economy, consumers have reduced large expenditures, and even discounts throughout the year have become commonplace, making Double 11 less attractive. Harold Thibault, a reporter for France's Le Monde based in China, visited a slightly dilapidated building in northern Guangzhou, marked as an e-commerce livestream base. In an upstairs room, Thibault met businessman Huang Yuepei. Being the Double 11 shopping festival, Thibault expected to hear about a frenzy of shopping activities, but instead, Huang Yuepei talked about a decline in online furniture sales. Huang Yuepei smiled and said, "We have nothing to do, so we bought ourselves a karaoke device to pass time." He also pulled out a deck of cards and stated that consumer demand was sluggish. It's clear that people are being more careful with their spending. As a result, he did not participate in this year's Double 11 promotions due to the very thin profit margins. He just couldn't keep up. Across from Huang Yuepei's online store is a women's clothing shop owned by Ms. Gu. She sells women's fashion on multiple platforms, including Taobao and Pinduoduo. The best-selling item is a jumpsuit priced just over 100 yuan or about only $14. While handling Double 11 orders, Ms. Gu said that the economy is slowing down. Between the disappearing consumer enthusiasm and price wars, Ms. Gu finds it hard to determine which is more worrisome for her. She sighed, some small, typically the cheapest online retailers are no longer participating in Double 11 because they can't keep up. Free returns on products have become increasingly complicated to manage, but without participating in Double 11, it would be even harder. Le Monde points out that this year's Double 11 is of great significance. The economic slowdown not only worries China but also other countries. In recent weeks, Chinese authorities have announced a series of economic stimulus measures, and everyone in the business world is wondering when China's economy will restart, or if it will restart at all. Zhengzhou woman with 4,000 yuan monthly salary takes 14 million yuan loan to buy 2 houses. A woman in Zhengzhou, Hunan province, with a monthly salary of only slightly over 4,000 yuan or about $555, was able to take out a 14 million yuan or nearly $2 million loan to buy 2 homes. The down payment for these 2 luxury properties was reportedly provided by a so-called mysterious benefactor. On November 12, the Xiang News reported that Ms. Sun, who has had bipolar disorder for nearly 11 years, visited the sales office of Zhengzhou's future Chanyi Properties alone in March 2024. There, she signed a contract for 2 properties using a zero down payment scheme. One home cost over 9 million yuan and the other over 7 million yuan, with a total loan amount of 14 million yuan. Her monthly repayment amount reaches over 70,000 yuan, which far exceeds her 4,000 yuan monthly income. The down payment was covered by a mysterious person. When asked about this mysterious person's identity, the sales office staff responded vaguely and could not provide a clear answer. The identity of this person remains unknown. The report suggests that a gray industry chain may be lurking behind this bizarre property purchase. This mysterious benefactor is likely a professional lender connected to the developer. The news sparked widespread online discussion. Can someone with a 4,000 yuan income get a loan of over 10 million yuan? Other netizens remarked, "I just want to know how they managed to secure a 14 million yuan loan. This isn't possible for the average person." Another netizen joked, "I always thought I couldn't buy a house because I didn't have money, now I know it's because I don't have a mental illness." Questions have arisen about whether there are loopholes in the bank's loan approval process. It is clear that someone with a monthly income of over 4,000 yuan lacks the ability to repay such a large loan. Why, then, was she able to secure the loan? This has raised concerns about financial oversight. The blogger Lao Zhao's social commentary noted that this incident highlights 3 major issues in the current real estate market: the failure of credit risk management. A person with a 4,000 yuan salary securing a 14 million yuan loan completely defies basic lending principles. How did the bank's risk control system approve this loan, and was there any misconduct involved? This situation not only increases the buyer's debt burden but may also fuel speculative behavior in the real estate market. There is a lack of protection for vulnerable groups. As a person with a mental illness, Ms. Sun signed the contract during a possible period of illness, raising questions about the contract's validity. Why were there no mechanisms in place to identify and prevent such obviously unreasonable transactions? This incident is a wake-up call for the public. In a declining real estate market, some developers, desperate to recover funds, may resort to extreme sales tactics. But such approaches not only harm buyers' rights but may also increase market risks overall. A lawyer in mainland China stated that if it can be proven that Ms. Sun was in a mental health period when she made the purchase, the contract could be considered invalid.